Welcome back. I'm Fiddlin' Johnny, and this is my Fiddle channel and Magic Review. Today we're going to do a Magic Review. I am going to take a look at something called Solitude Extreme. It's an updated version of Solitude. It is done by Joel Dickinson and Alec Mitchell. Essentially the effect, at least as it's advertised, is that a spectator chooses a freely chosen card. That card is signed and then lost back into the deck, only to discover that there's been a folded card sitting in front of the spectator the entire time. And when it is unfolded, which the spectator can unfold it, it will actually have the it's their signed lost card, which has been sitting there the entire time. So the effect sounds really awesome to me. I'm kind of hoping that it works as advertised because I love that effect. And watching the promos for it, it looks really neat. So that's what this is. And you know how this usually works. I'm going to go ahead and open it up, see what they've sent, and follow the instructions, practice a little bit, and then tell you what I think about the effect. All right, that's it. Stay tuned. Welcome back. All right, so here's what I got. I got this plastic box and this little card with a link on the back to the instructions. It's a streaming video that you look at, so I like that I got this box because it's going to protect this, which is my gimmick. It is a straightforward bicycle box of write-a-back cards. So there's no cards in it, but this is the gimmick that you're going to get. So that's what's there. Let's talk a little bit about the instructions. So it comes with 56 minutes and 56 seconds of instructions. I don't know how they worked that out to be exactly 56 minutes and 56 seconds, but they did. And the instruction was really, really good. Done by Dave Loosely of Alakazam Magic. If you're not familiar with Dave and his teaching style, really nice. Dave, I always appreciate the work that you're doing, and you're very easygoing and very non-intimidating style. I think for magicians at lots of different levels, it's very accessible. So was the teaching good? Yes, it's really good teaching. Dave's going to teach 3 different effects. Essentially, he does one that's advertised. The second one introduces one that's called, what is it called? Instagrab, which is another effect that essentially integrates Instagrab into this one. And then the final one is a prediction / mentalism effect. It could also be a drawing duplication effect. That one, to be honest, is one I really liked and would like to practice and actually do probably in my own set. So that's what the instructions are. You also get instruction from Alec Mitchell on how to do the effect with the deck as an actual unopened sealed deck routine. I wasn't fond of that, to be honest. Alec really gives a great reason why to do it that way, taking the heat off of the box even that much more to up the level of mystery and how it's done. But for me, I'm not sure it's necessary, but at some point I might try that. So that's what you get in the instructions. The instructions are shot from the spectator view, so you get the first spectator view of how it's done, and then you also get an overhead camera shot so that you can see some of the specifics of how to do some of the card handling for it. So it's shot well, mic'd well, and you get the instructions that you need. So that's essentially what you get. A little history about this. So this is called Solitude Extreme. There was an earlier version just called Solitude. This version is updated because it's much more 3D. And if you had the first version, you'll know what that means. I think it is a good update to the original version. So I like that, and I think that was good. Let me talk a little bit about the effect. I love this effect because essentially you're taking, for example, a card that is in plain sight the entire time, sits on a deck of cards. You then go into the routine where a free card is chosen, and it's not a forced card. They can pick whatever card they want. It is then signed by the spectator, lost back into the deck, and then is lost. And then as it turns out, you can actually grab the card and even hand it to the spectator and have their signed card be revealed, and it happens to be actually in a different colored back. So that as an effect is really, really awesome. I love that thinking. I love in terms of that, like that really will blow minds. So for that reason, I really do like the effect. So that really is moves me into what are the pros. The effect is really good. The gimmick it's a well-made gimmick. I think this will last for a long time. May not last forever, but it'll last for a long time. If you want to make a new one, I think you'll be able to look at this and figure out how it's made, even though there's no instructions on how to make a new one. And if you don't want to bother with that, of course, you can always just order a new one. And I think that would be well worth it. I think what I like, in addition to this, I find it very inspiring. If you're a creator or you're interested in being a creator, when you look at this gimmick and how it works, it will help you think about the method that's used here and how you could apply it in other types of scenarios and situations. So I sort of like that. I know that's not what the effect is being sold for or the trick is being sold for, but I personally liked it because I felt inspired when I saw how the gimmick worked and like, oh, I think I can apply that method in other ways, and which I think would be really great. So I'd also add another pro of this. It's really easy to perform. You'll be able to open this up out of the box, see the gimmick, see how it works, probably without even having to watch the instructions and understand how the gimmick works, and go from there. Especially if you're a beginner, it's going to be helpful then to watch the instructions, give you some routines to get started, and go from there. So another good thing. The cleanup on this is really easy. There shouldn't be any heat on your gimmick, and so that's one of the pros with this, is that the heat isn't there, and so you don't have to worry about the gimmick being discovered. This also, from a pros, is that it comes in both the red and blue rider back versions. So if you work with other cards, of course it isn't sold in those other versions, but is sold in red and blue rider back. So what are some of the cons? I do think one of the cons could be, and I think this is very slight, that in certain lighting situations, I think your gimmick might be noticeable. But I think if you're doing good crowd management, it's not going to be noticed. So I'm not going to worry about that too much, and it's not going to stop me from performing it. Another part of it, which I thought was interesting from an advertisement point of view, it says that Peter Nardi is going to give some instruction as well. Peter Nardi is nowhere to be found on the instructions. With that said, I would call that a minor con, simply because I didn't need additional teaching from Peter Nardi to be able to right out the gate follow the instructions and start performing this. So it'd be great if it was there, but from an advertisement point of view, there's no Peter Nardi. Sorry, Peter, we missed you. I'd love to have you on those instructions and maybe see some of the effects and routines you'd like to teach. You might not like this, and this is, again, I don't even know if I would consider this a con. If you're worried about your cards getting destroyed because you are going to be folding them, you're going to be signing them, which means that you're going to be going through decks. So if you don't like those types of routines, then it's not for you. But for most folks, I think that would probably be minor. It doesn't come with any cards. You have to supply your own cards. Not that big of a deal if you ask me. So you'll need to take good care of this. It's nice that they give you this plastic box, because I probably will be storing mine in my box just simply so it doesn't get flattened and destroyed over time. So who's this for? I'd say it's for all levels. If you're a beginner, you're going to be able to start performing this within your first 10 or 15 minutes, to be honest. And if you're been a magician for a long time, you know how the power of the effect that this punches. So you can be any level. It's for any level. Also, it mostly should be performed, I would say, in close-up routines. It's great close-up, great at-the-table type of routines, easy to do, and I think that's the type of scenario it's going to be best for. Let's talk about what it costs. So I paid $32.95 for this. I think for this gimmick here, it's a handmade gimmick. And because it's a handmade gimmick at $32.95, and it does exactly as it is advertised and works well, I think that's a very reasonable price for what you can expect for comparable gimmicks out there on the market along with the routines. You get 3 routines, but the truth is you could probably come up with additional routines of your own, and if you're a card magician, you'll quickly learn that there's ways that you could integrate it into your existing routines that you do. So would I recommend this? It does as advertised, so I would recommend it if this is the type of effect you would like to include. Will I perform it? I'm absolutely going to perform this. When the world gets back to normal and we're outside of the COVID-19 period, which I really do look forward to, I hope that I'll be able to integrate it in there. I like it in large part because the effect is a powerful effect and it's easy to do. So I think that's really it for Solitude Extreme. It's a great effect, very affordable and easy to do. So if you liked the video, I hope that you will do what everyone asks who watches YouTube. I hope that you'll share, and that you'll subscribe. I'm trying to build this channel so that I can bring you honest magic reviews. I'm somebody who performs regularly, and with the experience, I can give you my honest experience. So I hope that you will like and subscribe and share this with other folks. So thank you. I'm Fiddlin' Johnny, and remember to keep on fiddling with your magic. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.